Welcome to the Really Likable Geeks podcast. I'm Steve.
I'm Matt.
And I'm Stuart.
And this is the podcast where we talk about nerd stuff and things that keep you from going outside, like video games and comic books and other nerd things alike. And this podcast is brought to you by Audible. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring this episode of the podcast.
You're the best.
What's our book of the week there, Matt?
The book of the week is actually one of the books that we have as a free trial. When you try our Audible free trial, this is one of the options you can get for a freebie.
Is it a free trial?
It is a free trial.
Okay.
Oh.
It's free, just in case I haven't mentioned that enough.
And it's a trial.
It is a trial. But anyway, it's actually the book Divergent by Veronica Roth. It's the first in the series. So I'm going to read you the synopsis here.
Let me hear it,
because I have not actually read the books myself. My wife dragged me to watch the movie.
That counts.
Enjoyable.
That counts.
I'll give it that.
I've read the book.
But anyway, in Beatrice Pryor's dystopian Chicago world, society is divided into 5 factions, each dedicated to the cultivation of a particular virtue: candor, the honest; abnegation, the selfless; dauntless, the brave; amity, the peaceful; and erudite, the intelligent. On an appointed day of every year, all 16-year-olds must select the faction to which they will devote the rest of their lives. For Beatrice, the decision is between staying with her family and being who she really is. She can't have both, so she makes a choice that surprises everyone, including herself. During the highly competitive initiation that follows, Beatrice renames herself Triss and struggles alongside her fellow initiates to live out the choice they have made. Together, they must undergo extreme physical tests of endurance and intense psychological simulations, some with devastating consequences. As initiation transforms them all, Triss must determine who her friends really are, and where exactly a romance with a sometimes fascinating, sometimes exasperating boy fits into the life that she's chosen. But Triss also has a secret, one she's kept hidden from everyone because she's been warned it can mean death. And as she discovers unrest and growing conflict that threaten to unravel her seemingly perfect society, she also learns that her secret might help her save those she loves, or it might destroy her.
You were going to say something, Stuart.
Yeah, I read the book, the first one.
That is the first one.
Yeah, I read it. It's better than the movie.
Isn't that usually how it goes, though? Books are usually generally better than the movies, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd give you that.
I think there's a couple. Well, I would say the Jurassic Park movie is better than the book.
Fair.
Because
Well, would you say Game of Thrones' books are better than the show?
But the books don't have Peter Dinklage.
Comparable.
Fair. But we know who he is.
Yeah. It's comparable. But yeah, I enjoyed the book. I feel like
I haven't seen the movie. I read the book, though.
It did what a movie is supposed to do. I was entertained for 2 hours. It wasn't the greatest movie I've ever watched, but I didn't feel like I'd wasted my money.
I feel like in the synopsis that you were reading, I feel like dystopian Chicago is redundant.
Okay, go. Oh, my goodness.
Come at me, Chicago. Your hot dogs suck and your pizza's weird.
I don't think Chicago's there yet. Dystopian Detroit, I'd give you.
That's what you're basing Chicago off of, is their food? That's what it is?
Yeah. Their hot dogs have pickles on it. It's gross.
Yeah, they do. And tomatoes.
It's gross.
And chili, and it's delicious.
Okay.
And
okay.
No,
pepper
they don't have relish.
No, they have
it's
pickle
whole
slices.
Pickle
It's whole
slices.
pickles.
It's a spear.
Yeah, it's a spear. Yeah, and it's got chili on it, doesn't it? It's
gross.
delicious. No, it's good.
It's gross.
Chicago, your hot dogs are just fine. Don't listen to Stuart.
Yeah,
he doesn't know what food is.
Chicago's hot dogs are fine. I prefer New York dogs, though.
Yeah.
That's just a hot dog. What's so
With
special
kraut
about
and mustard and onions.
I prefer LA dog, which is bacon wrapped.
Oh, yeah, those are good, too.
We're all in agreement on that. Bacon makes everything better.
Those are the best. But also, your pizza sucks because cheese goes on top of sauce.
Okay, can I just say, because we're going to be on this just for a quick second.
You shouldn't
talking
have
about
to eat pizza with a fork.
Okay.
You shouldn't have
New
to eat
York
pizza with a fork.
pizzas aren't that great. What's the deal? What's the deal? They're just pizza. It's just pizza. I'm the kind. Okay.
Yeah,
no,
'cause
we're
it's
gonna
like
do this.
giant
Every
pizza.
time someone's
Okay.
like, "Have you had?
Are you telling me that we are diverging
biology?"
from
And
the
I'm
book
like,
of the week?
"It's pizza." I'm like, "It's pizza." Everyone's like, "Biology's
Yeah,
so
nobody's-
good."
all right,
What's
fine.
so different
Here's
than
the
like
thing.
any other pizza? It's pizza. How do you screw that up?
It's the same thing.
Pizza Pirates. Best pizza I've ever had.
It's pizza.
I feel like it's the same thing with like
it's
tacos,
great.
where someone's like, "Oh, these tacos are amazing." I was like, "Oh yeah, it's like a tortilla and then meat and cheese."
Cheese and lettuce, maybe.
Really?
Oh, like every other taco? Oh,
It's the
same. Why cheese?
Trailblazer.
What?
Why cheese?
What do you mean?
What do you mean white cheese? Why not cheese?
I like the street tacos where it's just cilantro onion sauce.
But my point
no,
is,
no,
it's tortilla,
that's a
meat,
taco.
and topping.
Like
Yes.
I have had street tacos, like just like you say, and then I've gone to Del Taco and just had their like normal like street tacos. It tastes the same.
Okay,
But there's
well,
no cheese on their street tacos.
We're getting far afield.
No, we're gonna do this. Pizza tastes the same no matter where you get it from.
fine.
That's where and I don't
All
know.
I'm
Like
saying-
New York pizza is so good. It's pizza.
All I'm saying is that Chicago
Pizza from Italy is
sucks
supposed
as
to
a
be
city.
amazing. It's pizza. It's bread and
Fair,
toppings. How do you?
fine.
It's like
You know
someone's like, have you had a sandwich from Jersey Mike's? Have you had a sandwich from Subway? They're pretty much the same thing.
Yeah.
One just slices the meat in front of you. The other one's already done. Like I don't know. Like
Here's the
just
last.
saying. Frustrates me. I'm sorry.
Here's the
That's how I
last thing
feel.
I'll say about.
Congratulations,
Chicago.
Steve. We will never get a Jersey Mike sponsorship.
I love Jersey
Thanks.
Mike's.
Good.
I don't like Subway.
They both suck.
Good.
Good.
Subway, your food sucks. Isn't that a McDonald's corporation?
Anyway, can I do my?
No, pizza sucks.
All right.
It all tastes the same.
Do you really think pizza sucks?
It's
suck.
all the same.
Can we have a vote so we can vote Steve off the island? Pizza doesn't suck. Pizza's
Pizza's
amazing.
good.
People who say that all pizza's different sucks.
Fine.
Because all pizza's the same. I will eat pizza.
Yeah, pizza rolls.
That gives
are
me
obviously,
heartburn. It's awesome.
Great.
Hey,
Here's the
pizza
thing.
rolls are
only,
great.
only 2 pizzas.
Only 2 kinds of pizza.
Pizza is it's all the same. Doesn't matter where you get it from.
Let me just say this one thing.
All right.
Chicago sucks because nobody understands your city government. Nobody. What is an alderman? What does he do?
I don't know.
Exactly.
Wait.
Stupid.
An alderman is a position?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
an
dude,
elected
I could have
position.
sworn that was someone's last name.
I thought that was a person.
No.
Yeah, I
Well,
was
no,
like,
he's a
who is
person.
alderman?
An alderman is an elected
Like his
position.
name, like his first name was Luke or something.
Luke
like
Alderman.
Luke the alderman. No, an alderman. They're like it's like a
Congratulations.
city. It's a city council representative, but they have a stupid name for it.
Chicago, your city sucks.
Yeah, your city sucks.
But
and
if you
your
listen to the
hot dogs are
podcast,
gross.
you're amazing.
Move. It's very dangerous there.
Yeah, it is super dangerous.
It's super dangerous.
Like,
there.
just get 6 miles out of town and you're good to go.
yeah, we're not going to talk about that. Anyways, what are you talking about this week, Matt?
Okay,
Pizza's the same no
so
matter where you get it.
you know, with this last conversation we just had, I feel like there's a lack of actual intelligence on this show. We should talk about
Rude.
artificial
Nah, you're right.
intelligence and maybe supplement some people who think that all pizza is the same.
Cool. So what is?
It is all the same.
We're done with pizza now.
No, we're not.
Okay. What is artificial intelligence, Matt?
Artificial intelligence.
Think artificial pizza tastes the same?
No. What is artificial pizza?
I don't know. Not real pizza. Like high school pizza. You ever had that?
Yeah.
Oh,
from the peanut
somebody
gallery.
thought all pizza was
All
the
pizza's
same.
the same.
That's a very different. That's
Hoisted
a different pizza.
on your
That's
own
not pizza.
petard.
Whatever you have in high school, that's not pizza.
Can we?
I don't know what
do
the-
How
this?
the
Are we
mighty
gonna-
have
all right.
fallen.
We
So-
had a whole show planned out. I guess we're talking about pizza.
Forget artificial intelligence. This
Now
show
that we've
has
talked
become
about pizza, let's talk about Pizza
pizza.
Gate.
Pizza Gate.
Well, now wait. Let's talk about the controversies in
Pizzagate.
pizza. Okay, so
No, we're not
Richards
doing
was
this anymore.
artificial intelligence, meaning the true artificial intelligence that is a machine who can think for itself and pass the Turing test, is what we are aiming for.
Yeah. So basically, what?
Do you want to explain what the Turing test is?
Yeah, we'll get to that right after we talk about
The origin.
the technological singularity.
Okay.
Dun dun dun.
The
I
technological.
played Mass Effect. I know what that is. Sorry.
That's an ability, not a technological thing.
It counts.
That's a good point. Technological singularity is the hypothesis that the invention of artificial superintelligence will abruptly trigger runaway technological growth, resulting in unfathomable changes to human civilization. According to the hypothesis, an upgradable intelligent agent, such as a computer running software-based artificial general intelligence, would enter a runaway reaction of self-improvement cycles.
So Skynet.
Yes, with each new and more intelligent generation appearing more and more rapidly, causing an intelligence explosion and resulting in a powerful superintelligence that would qualitatively far surpass all human intelligence. And just for if anyone cares about the history behind it, it was John von Neumann
Fell asleep for a
who
second.
first used the term singularity in the 1950s.
So what you're telling me is that this guy predicted Mass Effect before Mass Effect was a thing.
Mass
and,
Effect is
and the
awesome.
Quarians totally all just did that.
Well,
That counts.
yes, in the sense that in
We're
the
just gonna go
game
with that.
Mass Effect. Well, I'm gonna try and save
Poke
him
holes
from
in it.
drowning. In the sense that in the game Mass Effect, there is artificial intelligence in the form of the Geth.
Yes, which is what.
But in the sense that a Mass Effect field, no, you're absolutely wrong, and you should feel ashamed.
I was going for the Geth,
All right, well,
which
you
is why I
didn't say
said the
that.
Quarians, meaning that they created the Geth.
Shh, take the hit, bro.
Who? What did they do? They kept improving themselves and became a super intelligence that far surpassed their creators.
And then what did they do?
Murdered their creators.
And then what did they do after that?
Became gods of their own utopia.
Nope.
No, I'm kidding.
I would say they just kind of
just kinda
tried
were.
to live on their own.
Really? What did Legion do?
He sniped a bunch of people.
Fair.
Yeah. You know,
He also wasn't a heretic. He was true Geth.
He was not.
yeah. Okay.
How we get here?
So,
How did
so
we get here?
basically, an artificial intelligence is something man-made, computer-generated, but
In layman's terms, yeah.
near comparable to human intelligence and personality.
Where humanity has a very, very complex brain that is chemical reaction, an AI would be similar to an incredibly convoluted, just billions of lines of code.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's basically a supercomputer.
It would also be self-replicating, as well as it would continuously improve itself through different iterations.
It would learn.
Question.
It would learn.
about
Yeah,
that.
well, in
question
the
about
technical
that.
sense.
Okay,
it
wait,
would-
wait, hold on a second, because that's you're kind of smart about that, because like you're on point with that, because think about, there's been computers who have been designed to play like games like tic-tac-toe against themselves,
Right.
and they learn. Like they basically learn the moves, and it's just a never-ending game of tic-tac-toe until I think it's
War
just
games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. In war games, that happens.
Would you like
Yeah.
to play a game of
I completely
nuclear
forgot
war?
about that. That's how they solved that thing. You know, they played a game of tic-tac-toe against themselves. So yeah. But there's been also other things like the computers have been
Deep Blue.
they have gone to computer and they've just put like their own algorithm in it and everything and said play Minesweeper, and it'll win every time. Every time, because it just learns. It's all pattern based,
Right.
so it can learn.
There is no true random.
You put
But-
two computers against each other playing Minesweeper, it's just going to go on forever. So, in that sense, it has the ability to learn, you know, because it's a repeating thing.
Right.
It's always. I know how to win tic-tac-toe. Like, it's simple. There's really like only a few ways you can beat out your opponent. If you get there, could do it first, you win. It's just a repetitive thing.
Right.
You know, it's all on
a
a pattern.
pattern.
But if you throw like a computer or whatever, a robot, and you just like start learning stuff, like languages, and like if you give a robot, let's just say a robot, and you input like any whatever, you know, program you want into it, and it's like, okay, it knows the basic functions, it knows how to speak, it knows how to, you know, communicate in whatever form, and then you say, okay, learn all this stuff. Can it? Do you think it really could do that?
The ability to speak is not a sign of sentience, though.
No, I'm not saying it is. But I'm saying that's where you start, because you have to start somewhere.
So
you give them the basic functions of, you know what
So
you are.
you've written the code.
I guess.
You've
like-
written the code that it has text to speech.
Yes.
And you can tell it to say something.
Yes.
And it also has speech to text so that it can hear you.
Yes.
Get the text and then repeat it back to you.
Fair.
In whatever language you programmed.
For example,
now
yeah.
you're going to tell it, I want you to learn to speak German. Say that in German.
Would it just be able to
we,
learn?
But we have something that does that already that isn't artificial intelligence. It's called Cleverbot.
Right.
Right.
Cleverbot can hold a conversation,
Yes.
but it's not technically artificial intelligence
Agreed.
because it does not pass the Turing test.
No, it does not.
Alan Turing, for people that don't know, was a British codebreaker during World War II. He was one of the scientists that helped crack the Enigma, the Nazi encoding machine.
Mm-hmm.
And he also developed the Turing test,
He did.
which is
3 magical questions.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So it was developed in 1950, a test of a machine's ability to exhibit intelligent behavior equivalent to or indistinguishable from that of a human. Turing proposed that a human evaluator would judge natural language conversations between a human and a machine designed to generate human-like responses. the evaluator would be aware that one of the two partners in conversation is a machine. So you have 3 people, and they're all blind from each other. You have A, which is what you're trying to say is
Right.
artificial intelligence, talking to B, an actual person, and then you have a third-party monitor, C, who would try and discern which of them was the computer. And
Because he knows one of them is.
and if he was unable to discern which one of them was the artificial intelligence, then it would pass the Turing test. So
How many people have passed the test?
nothing has passed
Nothing
the
has
Turing
ever
test.
passed it.
Nothing
Exactly.
has ever passed it. Human error. Well, it's not. We had a question from the Peanut Gallery. What about human error? It's not so much the, people make mistakes. It's the cadence and context of the conversation, because we know if you just had a written conversation between an actual person and Cleverbot, after a minute or two, you could tell which one was Cleverbot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it would be indistinguishable. Obviously, I think the Turing test would best be evaluated through text, unless you could create, a vocalization that didn't sound robotic when it was speaking.
Right. I'm not saying then that's to say too that the phones, for example, phones are pretty. They can learn about you. And they can learn where you go and what you do and how you do it. So
Siri is not artificial intelligence.
No, it's not. I'm just talking about in general. Like, okay, I have an iPhone now. I know. I have an iPhone now.
Loser.
And it's been a while since I've had an iPhone, and it's just kind of crazy to me that because I've gone a few places with my phone, and Matt, you gonna say something? Sounds like you're gonna say something over there.
I don't need to. They covered it for me.
Fair. I've gone a few places with it, and it already knows where home is. This is home. As soon as it'll tell me heading home. Like it's already learned my patterns of where I go and everything. It just learned that.
Right.
Has the ability to do that. But that's not the phone just doing it on its own. That was like a pre-built, system that was put in here to do that.
Correct.
But if I don't think you could just do something
It's
and it would just learn
location-based.
how to do that.
Well, I mean, that is location based. It's like,
Right. That's
he
GPS.
spends the most time at this address, so this must be his house.
This must
Well,
be where he
okay,
lives.
and it's just
actually-
an
this must be
intelligent guess.
where work is.
I-
And this must be where.
Yeah, it's an
I
intelligent
pose
guess
to
at
you. I
best.
pose to you a counter argument there.
Okay.
Yes, we can. It's just that computers can do it so much more efficiently. A lot of learning is trial and error.
Okay.
And computers can try and err and try again so much faster than the human mind can. So back to our previous one where you were saying the robot that is trying to learn different languages, it can access the internet just like we can.
Yes.
And can download speech to text for every language it needs, boom, 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 and can immediately do so.
Yes.
You can also learn German, but it will take you much longer. You
take
can
me a
access
lot
the internet
longer.
and learn from the Rosetta Stone, but it will take you much longer. You can do it. A robot can do it just as well because they have the same access,
Better,
but they do it so
in
much
fact.
because they do it so much faster.
Yeah, because
Yes.
their processing speed is
Yes.
infinitely faster than humans.
Is it? Computer processing speed is faster than humans?
Yes. Give the smartest person at math 1,000 math problems to do, and then
I
input
guess that's
those
true.
1,000 math problems in a desktop computer. Just a basic off the line.
Dell.
Yeah, just get,
Yeah, but can a computer
and it'll
do
destroy.
this?
It'll. You know what's
Congratulations,
funny?
it has not passed the Turing
I was
test.
gonna say Stephen Hawking too.
I know.
So no,
You know,
no, he cannot.
speaking of Stephen Hawking,
He's
I
more a
saw
machine
a great
now than
meme.
man.
It was a picture of Stephen Hawking, and it just said, when you max out your intelligence and leave all your other stats at 0.
Oh my gosh! Wow.
And I was like, oh, that's cold.
Funny.
But true.
He'd probably think that was funny. He's actually got a great sense of humor
Ha ha.
about it. Ha 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 ha.
That dude's way too smart.
He seriously is.
Dude's super smart.
Yeah,
There he is.
He maxed out his intelligence, left all his stats at 0. we
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
thanks.
Where do we get at the point though to where it's like, okay, because we've talked about art, like the singularity and the Turing test and all that, and it's just like, what would make like artificial intelligence, like if somebody made like you've seen the movie like iRobot and AI, and Bicentennial Man, you know, all that. Where they make the robot and it's got its own, you know, likeness, personality, and everything. At what point do you think? Because I've had this argument with quite a few people, but where is the line where we decide that artificial intelligence is considered sentient?
Wait, are you asking
test?
when? That's sentience, but are you asking when they get rights?
Yeah,
because those are two different things.
Yes, because here's the thing: if you have this machine, it's what it is. It's made of artificial parts, and it's got an artificial brain and everything, and it's made to do whatever it's programmed to do. But over time, you know, let's just say it does learn how to do things. It picks up being able to do stuff easier. It does it better, and it starts learning other things to do, and it just becomes like another member of the family, essentially. When does it get to a point to where that's just, there it is, like we're done, like
so like
sentient
does it get
and everything.
Voting rights and things like that?
Yeah, why not?
That's tough because
if they had because at that point I know what you're saying, because then it has the right to choose.
Mm-hmm.
So would that also
at what point
mean,
do they stop being property? I
Yes.
think when they achieve sentience, because then you can't. Because then if you have an art, because this is the difference between virtual intelligence and artificial intelligence. You can have a virtual intelligence that is extremely lifelike and can respond and hold a conversation, but has no original thoughts or feelings of its own.
right?
That's a virtual intelligence. An artificial intelligence has self-preservation.
Yes. And
So
I
I feel like that's the big difference between virtual and artificial intelligence is self-preservation.
right, and I'm very much the kind of person.
So if you had two robots and you point guns at both of them, and the one that tries to save itself when you pull the trigger, that is sentience,
Right.
Because self-preservation.
I've had this conversation with a couple of friends of mine, and I'm very much the kind of person that goes, you know what? It's not real. It's not living. It's not breathing. If someone's like to destroy it, I would have no feelings about it. I wouldn't be like, oh man, it was like you know, a dog to me or whatever, or an animal to me. It would just kind of be like, I'll just get a new one, because if you think about that, like a computer component goes out, what do? You replace it, or you get rid of it and get a new one.
But the computer component,
Your knee goes out, you get knee
You
surgery.
get knee surgery.
but those are different. Your knee is not sentient.
But
Your
if this
knee
was a
can't
thing,
feel.
a robot that
But
could learn and
you're-
do all
you're
these things,
talking-
and now
I'm
nothing.
talking in components.
I
So
don't
you've got this, let's say, sentient robot, or just shy of sentient. We're deciding whether or not it's sentient, and we care if it blows up and dies. A computer component goes out, you just replace it.
Right.
Well, for the most part, you try to do the same thing with yourself.
Yeah. Not
So
disagreeing.
where's the difference?
Yeah. One's a real human
me-
being. One's got a
but
personality and everything.
well,
like-
okay, but
What makes your
artificial
brain work?
intelligence would have personality as well.
I'm sorry, what?
A true artificial intelligence would have personality as well. They would,
But it was
take-
creation.
yeah, but so are people.
So are we.
It's a different.
That's
it's
the
a
thing. I think it's
biological
different.
It's a
creation.
different
I'm very much
arrangement
on
of-
the person that's like, that's different. We're born. I can just whip something up and be like, there you go. It
let me
has
ask you this.
feelings and a
Okay,
likeness.
so let me
and
ask
all
you
that
this:
stuff. No.
are test tube babies not real?
I didn't say that.
But at what point do you draw the line?
I draw the line at, my gosh, it's tough.
So you're drawing the line
Okay.
of mechanical components.
So explain test tube babies. Explain it.
Well, it's
How does-
artificial
what-
insemination of an egg in a test tube.
And it goes into,
It doesn't have to though. We have axolotl tanks. It doesn't have to.
doesn't have to.
But what about babies who are cesarean sections? They're not technically born.
But they were carried inside of a womb.
So,
They were carried inside of a person. They were grown inside of a person.
Okay.
so
how
is
about-
my lunch from yesterday. That's your
how
criteria.
How about this one? Not actually relatively recently, a lamb was born from an artificial womb.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew about this.
So that's a thing.
Humans
now.
can do that too.
Mm-hmm.
Would that baby be
So let's say-
born?
let's say
I
as
don't
you're
know.
saying?
I feel like
Let's
that
say we
that's
have
like inhumane almost. Like,
Why? But let's say you have
Does
a
the
couple.
baby
no,
know?
because you have a
10
couple.
years down the line, he
let's say
doesn't know
you
any
have
better.
let's say you have a couple who
assuming
is
they would tell.
no, because what difference does it make if you have a couple and they're unable if the wife is unable to carry the baby to full term
Right.
because it puts her life in jeopardy and they choose to use this artificial womb instead? Does that make it any less a person?
It's still her DNA and his DNA.
That's the thing, though. It's coming from human DNA.
Yeah, but
Human DNA. It's
a lot of
coming
people
from.
a lot of people would say that
It is going to still
the
carry on
creator,
the
person who wrote the code poured themselves into it. I mean, just because there's not a genetic,
I don't know.
passing on of DNA.
I don't feel like
Your-
if I can. I don't know, because I would know. Like, okay, if you punch me in the face, I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna feel it. That's a feeling I'm going to have.
Okay.
Pain
It's going to be
receptors.
pain.
Because of pain receptors.
Okay.
Yeah.
How can you tell me that you can actually implement real pain, put that into a machine and make sure
Artificial
that it's
Sensors.
completely
Artificial
accurate.
limbs.
Sensors.
The newest line of artificial limbs have nerve endings,
I don't.
so people can feel what they grab. So you're actually
Yeah, yeah,
grabbing
yeah.
a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't feel like a machine would be able to accurately represent pain and like what real touch and feel is. And what real feeling.
AI
but what is okay?
would.
But let me ask you this: what is pain?
But what do we have to go off
Is-
of that? Because
is
nothing
your-
has been made. Nothing. All we have is what
But
goes off in shows
here's
and
the
movies
argument.
and
that
anime.
here's the argument that Stuart's going to pose to you. What is pain? When you
It's a feeling.
what happens when you get punched in the face?
It hurts
Why?
because reasons.
Because your nerve endings flare.
Your nerve endings flare, and
Yeah,
the
I know
signal
what
gets
it
sent
is.
to your brain.
Yes.
So when you have an artificial nerve sensor and you receive the amount of force that's necessary to trigger it,
Mm-hmm.
it goes through the code and signals the right response in
Right.
the code.
Right.
This is the same thing.
I mean, I
only-
know. I have it in my leg.
only
Yeah.
not biological, but it's the same thing. So you would
But
feel
the thing
pain.
though is, I know, but in my leg, because like for those of you who don't know, I was in a motorcycle crash and my leg got ripped in half, and I almost lost my leg. So they reattached everything, and now I have artificial parts. I have a steel rod that runs through my leg and everything, and I have all these artificial parts in me that make it work. The thing is, before they did that, I understood what that feeling was before they did that. So
but you
I
know
understand.
that from experience.
Yes,
So who's to say that an artificial intelligence couldn't gain experience?
it could. I don't know if it could.
Okay, well let me.
It doesn't have any experience. It's just being
Experience is
appeared
subjective.
into
Babies
society.
just appear into the world.
But this is, I don't know. I feel that this is different.
Babies
I
don't
do
know
feel
what
like
pain is right away because
No.
they've never experienced it.
I don't disagree with you.
Let me
You're accurate with
let me
that.
let me do it.
But it's a machine. That's the thing is I have. It's like it's a machine.
So you're saying
I mean,
you draw
if you
the
get
line
down-
at mechanical components.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, what if we had biological?
Biological.
There are biocomputers. I mean, it's not.
It's a computer.
But what's the qualitative difference between a biological computer and the human brain?
Well, like you said too, computers can process stuff faster. Process stuff.
Okay,
better.
so someone's smarter than someone else.
yeah. Okay, but it's still made of components.
We are all made of components.
No,
I mean, if you break us down
man-made
to
components, like it's made of metal.
our, we are all man-made.
I'm not made out of metal. I'm not made
were
of
made
metal.
from your dad.
I'm not made of data.
You're made of
I'm
the
not
same
made
basic
out of, like,
elements.
a factory.
You're
I'm not
made
made
of the same basic
in a, like, a
elements that would
science
make up a
lab.
computer.
I'm not made out of parts that I can get at like freaking Home Depot.
Your steel rod could.
Yeah, okay.
what
So
I'm
I got some
saying is
stuff
when
in me
you-
that's from Home
but
Depot.
I'm saying-
I'm just
but
saying,
I-
like,
but
I
I-
could go to Home Depot and make something, but does that mean that it like
If you break us down,
that has like rights
if you
now? And
well,
like
if you break us
understands
down to our basic elements, there's no difference. Carbon atoms rearranged in different way. Sodium, oxygen.
Yeah.
The basic components or the building blocks of life are exactly the same.
I don't disagree, but when it comes to
So here's an interesting idea. If you have an AI in robot form that has passed the Turing test and it is sentient, and you take it, stand next to a human, and you have done whatever you can to the AI to merge what biological stuff you can, and it looks no different from a human and acts no different from a human, is it less... I know it's not human, but is it not equal?
I don't think it's equal. No,
I think we're dry.
I definitely don't feel it would be equal.
Let me ask you this. If, say, for whatever reason, cybernetics were to the point where, Ghost in the Shell, where
Or
I
we
could
can make like
replace,
cybernetic enhancements and stuff like that.
no, a complete cybernetic replacement for
Okay.
all of my biological parts.
Okay.
Would I be any less the person I was before?
You're just altering.
but nothing,
making
but nothing,
alterations
but
with it.
nothing about me is the same. I'm no longer the person I was.
What do you need fully to function? Your brain?
No, because it's cybernetic brain.
Okay,
In Ghost in the Shell, they have
so he's-
cybernetic brains.
I know, but
Steve,
what?
he's asking you in a more complex form. You have a hammer.
Right.
You smash something with the hammer, the handle breaks. You go to Home Depot, you replace the handle.
Right.
Later on, you smash something else with the hammer, the head breaks. You go to Home Depot, you replace the head. Is it the same hammer?
No.
That's exactly what he's saying.
I was trying to lead you to this. Are we the sum of our parts, or is there something more?
I feel like I would say no. Like I don't know. If I want to completely replace everything out of my body, I'm still like then. Okay.
Well, let's say it's not even a choice. Like you have to because you're gonna explode or something. Let's say you were
accidentally
you were
swallowed a
walking
bomb.
down. Yeah, you were walking down the street and you met a pirate and he had a bunch of pies and you ate one of the pies, but the pies were from a bomb factory.
Yep.
Okay, I've heard them. Yeah, I get the
That
analogy.
happens.
Okay, and then they had to replace like your stomach,
Everything.
And everything?
I am no longer
your brain, everything.
Yes.
I would say you're not you.
really.
Yeah, I would say
Even
you're
if
not
he
you.
has the
So I no longer
same-
have any rights.
I
then?
would be at that point. I would just be like, okay, so what do you retain? Everything you retain.
Let's
all
just
of your
say
memories.
there's
you
a
retain
one
all
to
of your
there's a
everything.
1-to-1 download my brain to cybernetic brain.
with the ability to continue to learn and just pick up where you
it's
left
just
off.
it's just a brain,
Same
but it's-
speed.
Nope.
He's not even supercomputer.
No. If
Really?
that happened to you and you were here, I would be like, I would just be like,
So there's no ghost. in
you're
the
gone.
show.
I'd be like, you're gone.
Okay. So
Yeah,
the soul
at that
does not endure.
No.
Interesting.
That would be me. I'd be like, nope. And that's the thing is I've had this argument with so many people about that. They're like, well, man, that's really heartless to think that way. And I'm like, what do you have to gauge it off of? Video games and movies and anime? Show me something, with actual real credibility to disprove me.
Here's the problem, though. The burden of proof is on you in
It
that
is.
situation. So you have to
But
prove
the thing
that
is,
I'm
like,
not the same person.
And I've had people be like, oh, no, it has feelings. Why? Because a person implemented that and to make it think it knows what it's feeling or how it is doing anything. How does it know?
Here's an argument: is that
No, I
our
don't have
feelings
any-
and our feelings and how we react to things is subjective, based upon nature.
Look,
and nurture.
basically,
Thank
I
you.
would be the reason
Gotcha,
why
fam.
robots hate humans.
probably.
Yeah.
I'm like, I accept you for who you are, but you're not real. Like, I would be like,
You'd be the
I'm
reason
perfect. I
that
made
we
a
would
real
get wiped
like
out.
flesh and bone. Like, what are you? Better because you're made out of metal and computer parts.
I mean, technically,
I would be like, all right, whatever.
And in the time it took you to say
I'd
that,
be like,
it had
my
already
species is
thought of
superior.
10,000 different ways to wipe out the human race.
Yep, I'd be like, my species is more superior. We made you.
And you're all dead.
That would be me, and then I would
We're
get
all
killed.
dead.
I'd be that person.
I mean, but qualitatively, it would be better than people.
We don't know that for sure. How many defects could we? I mean, yeah, the humans have defects. I would say that we all have faults of our
Mental,
own.
yeah.
But
Mental and physical.
we
Steel rods
also
in our
know
legs.
we all also understand remorse and forgiveness, and we understand for every reaction there's a reaction. We understand that. Would something else understand that? It's like if it acted
Do we,
upon
though?
its instant impulses, that guy made me mad, like kill him.
I mean, but there are
that's a
people who do that.
could
Does that
be-
make them any less people?
That's what I'm getting. They're not, but it would learn that. That would be this. Would say that would be its instinct to do that. You made fun of me. I don't like that. I'm going to hurt you now. What then happens?
Why is that its instinct?
Yeah,
What if that's not the
obviously
code
you
that's written?
It's the same thing with children. You teach them morality.
I'm saying that because here's the point that I'm making.
Unless you think that morality is secular.
If those robots were able to do that and they're able to learn everything, we want to make them complete, perfect AI. So who's to say that they wouldn't?
Okay, I get it.
Who's to say they
you're
wouldn't?
arguing for asecular morality.
Yes. Who's to say that they wouldn't?
See, I don't agree with that.
Why?
Because
so you would
I don't
implement
believe-
everything except for the negative stuff?
No.
That's not
What I'm
truly saying.
What I'm
That's not
saying.
truly-
What I'm saying that is morality isn't. I'm not saying. I'm saying morality is just.
Ooh.
It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
People understand it whether they follow it or not.
Right.
It's a thing whether morality would still be a concept whether people are around to discuss it or contemplate it.
Mm-hmm.
So in that sense, I feel like if you had an artificial intelligence and they killed someone, they would know that ending something's life and existence is wrong morally.
It would have to learn that.
But children learn that.
Yes, they do.
But that's nature versus nurture. So who's to say that wouldn't be the part of the code?
Okay, but here's
But what I'm
Morality
saying is
equals one.
What would happen with society if that were to happen? Or if people would be like, that's really sad that artificial intelligence did that. Or would it be like, this is now a problem, and now we have to rectify the situation.
I mean, but we do that
And
anyways
then
with actual
the Matrix happens.
That's different though, because they had artificial because in the
Just saying. That's where I went with that. I'm just saying.
in the
That's
Matrix
left field.
in the Matrix they had artificial intelligence
Yes, they
and the
did.
people abuse them.
Who's to say we wouldn't? Who's to say
I
we
wouldn't.
wouldn't? You wouldn't, but who's to say somebody wouldn't?
People are always going to abuse other people.
Agreed.
That's just part of life.
Agreed. I got to read this really quick.
Okay.
I want to remind everyone that this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Audible. Thank you, Audible, for supporting this episode of the Really Likable Geeks podcast. Audible has an unmatched selection of audiobooks, original shows, news, and more that you can listen to on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or MP3 player. For our audience, Audible is offering a free audiobook with a 30-day free trial to give you the opportunity to check out their service. We recommend to you Divergent, written by Veronica Roth and narrated by Emma Galvin. And you can keep the audiobook even if you cancel. Ooh. To download your free audiobook today, go to audibletrial.com/RLG and browse their unmatched selection of audio content. It's that easy. audibletrial.com/RLG. Again, that's audibletrial.com/RLG. Thank you, Audible, for sponsoring us. Paying the bills. I signed up, and then I've, it's awesome.
nice.
I signed up a while ago, in my defense.
Now quit trying to change the subject. Let's go back to the Matrix.
I was just saying Audible was cool. Thanks for sponsoring us. You guys are awesome.
They are. They are.
I was just saying. Yeah.
Is it- okay,
It's like,
we've been-
because, have you guys seen the Animatrix?
Yes, that's what I was talking about.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because there is the whole thing of like robot.
How
like,
the war started.
Yeah, how it started.
People were jerks.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who's to say that wouldn't happen?
Okay, but that's not on the fault of the
That's our fault.
robots.
That's us.
Yeah, so
That's the point I'm making. Is
Okay,
I don't
so-
think I think regardless of what happens, artificial intelligence, no matter when it happens, I think it's going to be extremely difficult. There's going to be two sides. There's going to be the people who are very receiving of it and very receptive and
Yo.
And then there's the
Hey.
other half that are going to be on the fence about it. That's
bigots.
me.
Racists.
Oh, okay. See,
Racists. I'm sorry, specious.
I think, of course, the advancement of technology and that is fantastic, but I'm trying to be a realist when it comes to this. It takes one to ruin everything. It could.
I disagree.
It could take one.
I
Because
disagree,
let's say
there's
that
tons
one
of murderers who don't
let's
collapse society.
let's just say it's 50-50. Society's 50-50 on AI. Okay? One of this intelligence kills a human being. That 50% is going to rise up. I believe. I would
Disagree.
believe. Or they're just going to be like, man, that's really sad.
I'm going to destroy your argument with a real world application.
All right, give it to me.
Tons of people are killed in the name of religion every day
Right.
and still go about their business.
But this is a creation. This is a
People are creations.
This is a physical creation of something that
Okay,
is destroying
I'm-
human life.
I'm on
Murderers.
this.
That's a human destroying a human, though.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's the difference?
on this.
We
argument,
can't just be like humans are terrible and wipe ourselves out. Like
guys. On this argument, I see both of these, and I'm gonna jump on this one.
we've been on this for a while too. I want to jump off this soon.
where
Yeah, it's good.
if there is a robot, now let's say one. We have one artificial intelligence. It is the only one we have ever made. It is the first of its kind. It is, for all intents and purposes, human. And
Okay.
as you said, the 50-50. It has been coded to, for the most part, the knowledge and morality of an adult.
Morality equals one.
And it murders someone.
Okay.
I am with you on the fact that there will be a very, very, very large backlash.
Yeah.
However, if we have a larger society with well more than one, we're several years in. There are robots in almost every rich household, and even in some middle class ones, because hey, they took out 3 loans and remortgaged their house.
Right. Okay.
And it happens then. It's going to have so much less backlash because that is one out of how many robots. Like Stuart's saying, there's a murderer in the streets. He kills 5 people. He gets caught by the police. Everyone goes, wow, what a horrible person. He goes to jail and gets sentenced to life in prison.
Right.
Yeah, we
The rest
don't
of us-
wipe out his whole family
the rest
because
of
he
us
came from them.
Right.
The rest of us kind of go out about our merry lives because this has happened before and has been happening for a long time.
And I feel
Okay.
like death is such a natural part of life that I feel like that wouldn't be the knee-jerk reaction.
Okay, now here's where I'm going to go with this.
Okay.
Vehicles. There's a defect. What happens? The
Recall.
company recalls the vehicles of some sort, and then what happens? They replace it. So defect in this, would that be considered a defect? What with AI, it's a machine. It's man-made. It's human, just like a car would be. It has a defect. Where do we draw the line between that's just at doing what we programmed to do to be more human and defective?
I think passing the Turing test.
But it does.
Parts.
So if you're
I'm
saying
going to say parts because your car has a computer. But if some random part of your car finds a defect, at this particular speed, your airbag will not eject when it should, and you could be seriously injured. That is a part. That's similar to, under this one random condition, your robot's hand might accidentally fly off and punch you in the face.
Okay.
So you need
that's
to...
not a defect to me. That's awesome. Rocket Fist is an
You need to
I paid
replace-
extra for Rocket Fist.
You replace the physical part, but you are not adjusting any programming.
Okay.
That's fair.
But you generally okay, that's what I'm saying. Where's the point to where
When it's the core.
when it's the core is a defect, or is there no defect then at that point? Because that's the point I'm trying to make.
Is it
really,
all wide or is it the one? Because if there's a corrupt data,
Yeah,
I
if
would
the
say
brake-
like
if the
okay,
brake line is faulty,
I would say
let's
like
say-
okay, the brain like he used to speak English and now like he's kind of having trouble. Like he can't even. Okay, we could just change that. That's a defect. Like, okay, it was like a corruption in the code, whatever, like that. But it's like okay, we could switch that out. That's like a whatever thing. But what can one of them do? Like, what could an artificial intelligence do physically, like as an action, like a real world action, like kill somebody or whatever, like out of its personality, what could be a defect? Or do we just end up going, well, you murdered somebody, so we have to treat you as a human and take you to jail?
I'm going to
Yes,
say
because
absolutely.
being
So now we have
part of-
robots in jail?
Yes, because
Yes.
being a part of society means you're adherent to society's laws and rules.
Absolutely.
It's no different.
To me, I would just kind of be like, well,
if you
I would
can't-
love to have a robot in my house to assist me, but it could kill me if it doesn't like the fact that I told it to take out the trash.
So could the person you hire to, mow your lawn. It's a possibility. But it's not. But
I just
you're-
feel like one can be fixed better than the other. I would say because one's a robot. You just change the code. You just edit the code.
in society, it's something you just live with. It's a possibility
know,
that my mailman might kill me if I go out to get the mail, but I'm not going to not go out to get the mail for fear of maybe I'll get killed.
I'm not saying that like that's a real
Okay,
world thing, but
so
I
here's-
shouldn't have if it's a.
Here's an interesting question for you,
I
Steve.
don't know. I'm not
Let's-
afraid of it. I'm just like trying to be a realist.
Steve,
about
Steve,
it.
I have a question. I have a question for you then. Let's assume that this is far enough into the future that our technology is advanced to the point where, like you were saying, it's a personality defect. Something's wrong with their personality that makes them want to kill you. Well, you could just fix that in the code, right? Because that's how their brain works. It's lines of code. Our brain works as far as chemistry is concerned. Let's say it's far enough in the future that we can literally alter our own memories and thoughts and dreams and whatever we want within our brains because we understand the chemistry and the biology so perfectly. Somebody goes on a killing spree. Do you throw them in jail or you say, oh, well, hang on. Let me just pop you on the table here. Just kind of go into your brain and all fixed. All right, cool. You're a normal member of society now.
Do you mind if I take that one first? Before
Yeah,
you
go for it.
I would say no. No, you do not do that.
No, you
Because
definitely
you
don't.
take away because that's taking away free will.
Okay. So why
Person-
would you do it to a robot?
I wouldn't. Because it's taking away free will.
Okay, we have the death penalty.
Yes, we do.
Yes, and that is a penalty for breaking society's laws.
So do we just add that in too?
Yes.
Absolutely.
If a robot
So
kills people, it is
why
destroyed
couldn't
or
you
killed.
Why couldn't you just, I don't know, reprogram it?
Because why?
You're just killing it
because if it's
previous,
sentience,
if you could just rewrite code.
Okay, that's different. I'm saying if you're doing a hard wipe of everything that it was before and reusing
All
the
memories.
parts, I would say that's qualitatively no different
Than
than
death.
organ donors.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd be okay with that. But if you're just
Rebooting
reprogramming someone, you're leaving the base code and the base personality, but you're like, let me just make some quick adjustments because I don't like the way that they do this.
Why wouldn't you be able to do that?
I'm saying you could. I disagree with it from an ethical standpoint. It's
I
the
as
same
well.
reason. It's the same reason I disagree with the overprescribing of mood stabilizing drugs, because I feel like that changes who you are as a person, and I think it's morally and ethically wrong.
Okay. Me personally, like I would have no feelings towards that. I'd be like, you're real because you exist. Obviously, I can touch you. I
think therefore I
everything here.
am.
And but to me, I'd be like, you're man-made, and
You're not
no
human,
different than
you
my
are therefore
home-based
beneath
computer.
me.
I'd be like, you're no different than my computer, so you're nothing to me. Like I don't know. Like to me, that would I wouldn't be afraid of it. Like I wouldn't be scared. I'd just be like, that's just how I would feel. I like you're nothing to me. Try and feel that. Like, try to feel those feelings. Like I don't know. It's just how I would feel. But anyways, we've been on this for a while.
I mean, it was fair debate. I enjoyed it.
It's just something that I've had a lot of debates with people about it, and I've had talks with people who agree with me, and I've had people who disagree with me, and people who are on both sides. Me, I would say, do I think it would be cool? Yes, because I think technological advancements is fantastic. I think science is great. I love it. But at the same time, I still try to look at it as a realist. I try as much as I possibly can. As much as I possibly
Here's the last thing I'll say about that. I feel like because of the popular cultural mainstay that AI will rise up and kill us, because that is the cliche in science fiction.
Just like all aliens are coming to destroy Earth.
Exactly.
Right.
Because that is the
they are.
cliche. I would say that has influenced your decision. I'm not saying that what you think is wrong. I'm just saying that you have to consider the fact that nurture affected you in that way to have this preset disposition towards AI eventually rising up. It's the same. I would argue that it's the same thing that if you are a child and you're raised in a household of sexists or racists or bigots or whatever, that you grow up learning that these people, because of the way they look or are subhuman. And because of that, you grow up. And it's not to say that you can't learn or better yourself or come out of that mindset, but I'm saying it is something that affects you because we all watch the same movies growing up. Like AI always kills people, like Terminator.
It does.
And so I would say that might have affected your feelings on that.
I would say like one of the only things I've ever watched where like I guess everything kind of lived in harmoniously was Ghost in the Shell in some ways. Like everything just kind of
Yeah.
I mean, they fixed the gap.
I mean, but at a formative
It's
age.
movies.
But I'm saying at a formative age, when we were like first learning, how we conduct ourselves in society, we were like,
pretty sure the first movie I
robots
watched with
bad.
that was Terminator. That was
Yeah.
the first
Yeah,
one I ever
exactly.
watched. I
That
was
was
like,
the
wow,
first.
this is really bad. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. No, because I would say I saw Star Wars before that.
Oh yeah.
And Star
true,
Wars had
too.
friendly AI.
Yeah, I
And
guess
they
that's
also
true.
had some not friendly
No, I'm
AI.
saying the first time I
It's
ever
true.
saw robots being bad was Terminator.
And it was like
And then it was-
world-ending
yeah.
apocalypse
And then-
Armageddon.
And then I remember watching like AI, and then I think I watched Bicentennial Man.
Well, luckily I read AI before I ever saw that terrible movie. That movie sucked. The book is
bad.
fantastic. Isaac Asimov is far and away the best science fiction writer who writes about artificial intelligence.
Oh, by far.
Yeah.
Leaps and bounds.
Yeah. So, anyways, we're gonna try and move off of this.
Let's jump off of that subject.
Yeah.
What was another? Oh, sorry. There was another movie that did that. AI, wasn't it? Minority Report kind of did that. Didn't that have artificial intelligence in it?
No. Minority Report was the precogs.
Oh, you're right.
It was a person who could see the
You're
future.
right, you're
It was
right,
future
you're right.
crime.
Yeah.
Future crime department. Blah, blah, blah.
Which is awesome.
The
I love
only
that
cool
movie.
thing about
You
that
are
movie,
going to commit a murder at some point, so we're arresting you now.
Yeah,
Wait,
see,
what?
I
But
fundamentally,
nope, you're going to
fundamentally
jail.
disagree with that as well because
I love
do
that
too.
movie. I love Minority Report.
the only thing I liked about that movie
Because
was
the moment you did that-
was the 6 sticks.
Oh yeah.
Instead of like the cattle prod tasers, you would tap someone with it and they'd start vomiting.
Yep.
That's so much better.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
so much. Nobody can do anything when
Instant
you're vomiting.
incapacitation.
Yeah, you can't do anything. You can't fight back when you're throwing your guts up.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
The movie
I
was
love that.
great. I love that movie.
I like the spinny stick that like shot the sonic wave out too. That was neat.
I also like Ex Machina. Oh
Ex
my
Machina.
gosh, Ex Machina was so good.
But once again, another example of AI turning against its creators because its
of-
creator was a jerk.
was a psycho nut.
Yeah, it was a terrible,
Yeah.
terrible person. I don't care
So I
if
guess-
he gave Finn his jacket. He's terrible.
I guess with that, then I guess we could talk about comparisons between anime and movies to
Sure.
AI, our perception of AI, because that's all we have to go off of.
That's true.
essentially,
Yeah.
is what we've seen in movies and anime and TV
Yeah.
shows and video games.
Y'all were just mentioning Terminator.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
You
Terminator.
know, I think that it's funny because I believe that Skynet's like the basis of like this the end of the world, like Skynet, like like that's what a lot of people base it off of. Now, if you could choose, so I'm going to try to go and be good about AI for instead of being like I'm on the fence about it. Which if you could choose a universe where the AI
I feel like you're not on the fence.
What-
I feel like you're on the other side
no,
with
no.
a gun and a
No,
sign
no.
that says "Stay off my lawn."
I'm on the
No
fence.
robots allowed.
I want to make that clear. Is I'm on the
Humies only.
I'm on the fence about it because it's like I do like technological advancement. I do. But at the same time, it's still something to be,
I'm not saying we
aware
shouldn't be
of and
cautious.
cautious about. Yeah.
No, I'm not
That's
saying
what
we
I'm
shouldn't
saying.
be
I'm on the
cautious.
fence
I'm
about
not
it
saying
because
we
I don't
shouldn't be
know
cautious.
if society is ready for something like that. I really don't think
Oh
society is
no,
ready for
totally
something.
not.
current
no,
state?
definitely not.
That's
No,
why-
no,
that's
no,
why I'm
no,
on the fence
No,
about
no, definitely not.
But if I could choose a universe that had AI in it in some way, like
in which to live?
in which to live, probably Outlaw Star had AI in it.
Yeah, it
For
did.
sure. And I would totally choose that universe.
That
for
was
AI.
that was about as
Yeah, there's some
completely
harmonious.
against
Yeah.
your argument that you're going with right now because she was indistinguishable from humanity.
Yep.
But she was totally not.
totally not.
She
Yeah.
was completely artificial.
Yep.
She was in a suitcase.
Yep. Kind of like how in Firefly, which is another universe, But I think there was artificial intelligence in Firefly. I think there was.
Was she
No. She
artificial?
wasn't. She was a psychic.
survey
Yeah.
says artificial intelligence.
But I'm pretty
in
sure-
Firefly.
I don't think
I'll
don't
just
believe
Google
so.
it, but I'm pretty sure there was.
think so.
Whatever.
It might have been like a one episode. Say that one more.
Serenity, the one guy's wife. Remember, it's
The one guy.
and then he sends the message.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there was.
Oh no. That was virtual intelligence. That was just a sex bot. That's virtual. That was she did not. You think if she had free will, she would be hanging out with that loser? Nope.
He did have money.
He lived in like abandoned mine shaft on like a moon in the middle of nowhere space.
Okay, well, the comparison I made off that is because you look at Firefly and then you look at Outlaw Star. They're pretty close. It's just the
Space
girl.
Cowboys.
Space Cowboys.
The girl was just in a suitcase, and
Yeah.
she was made.
I got you.
Of artificial parts, but I love that universe.
Oh, yeah.
I do. I would choose that universe over like Ghost in the Shell or whatever any day for sure, because Ghost in the Shell did something that scared the crap out of me, which was if you could enhance yourself in any way, your brain, whatever, it's hackable. That scares me. I would
You just turn Wi-Fi off.
no.
They literally do that. It's called
no.
It's called autistic mode.
Okay. In the movie, for example, the one that just came out,
Well, I mean, Hardline,
there was a
yeah.
scene where the geisha doll hacks in and takes all your stuff.
Okay.
And goes away. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking about wireless. Like you could just be,
Okay.
ported in and hacked.
Fair,
I'd be afraid of
but
that.
that can happen in real life.
I could just put something in your brain, take all
You
your
can point
info
something at the
and-
back of my head and make me do whatever you wanted. It's called a gun.
Well, yeah, okay. My God.
Okay,
But I'm saying qualitatively, there's no difference.
on the hack side, you can have your social security number and bank cards copied, and they could
Yes.
use them as they could basically make a different identity and steal you.
Right.
That's you.
I know, but I guess like yes, people can do that, but what I'm saying is like actual hacking. Like, yeah, I'm completely aware that like all of my just like everything is could be accessed
So-
at any point in time by someone doing something online.
So you're saying it's more
using a
frightening
digital
that
source.
someone could just come in and suddenly, with you still there,
like just
you're
jack in and
still
take your stuff.
conscious,
Yeah.
but now you're watching you in the back seat, and they are hacked in and they're doing you,
Like,
but
what
you're
would
still
happen-
having to watch
Let's
it.
think about this. What would
That
happen
would be terrifying.
if you had cybernetic enhancements and all this stuff like that, and an EMP went off? You're like you're just like nothing.
Actually they address that. All of the cybernetic bodies are also Faraday cages.
Okay, like
I would say that's a design flaw.
I guess, yeah. Like
I mean, if
because
you
an
were
EMP
gonna,
blast would knock out anything like
it's just
electronic. It
Faraday
would just
cage.
knock it out.
Okay, so here's the other thing.
thermal shielding.
Your
Yeah,
brain
no,
is
yeah.
cybernetic at that point too, yes?
Yeah.
So wouldn't this be qualitatively no different than being knocked unconscious until you reboot?
Ooh, that's a good point. Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, a strong blow from a lead pipe to the back of your head.
So I have to worry about getting knocked out and getting EMP blast. Great. Like
I
this
mean,
is two things I gotta worry about
You
now.
always got to worry about
EMP blast goes
getting
off, I'm gonna be like, well,
accosted.
that was weird. But if I'm I have artificial parts, I have to
Well,
worry about
if
that
an
too now.
If an EMP blast goes off, you're most likely about to be disintegrated by a nuclear warhead. So
True. Fair.
you're not going to worry about anything for very
I'm
long.
just saying, like, I just kind of feel like that there's a lot
Ah, dang, I can't move.
a lot of drama.
yeah, that scene in T2 when she's like up
Oh,
against
yeah.
the fence and it's
yeah.
that was, you know what's cool. This is just a random fun movie fact. Is that's actually it's not two different shots. It's the same shot with Linda Hamilton and her twin sister.
Oh, is that really?
Yeah.
Oh.
So all of the parts, and it's also when she's working on his head. It's not how you don't see the camera in the mirror. It's because there is no mirror. It's a fake Arnold in the foreground and the real Arnold talking in the mirror with Linda Hamilton's sister in the foreground, and you can see the real Linda Hamilton's face.
Oh, camera tricks.
The same. Well, and it's not even like a camera trick. It's just twins.
Yeah.
The same thing when at the end of the movie when she's calling out to John. That's Linda Hamilton's twin.
Oh.
And then she comes up behind the real Linda Hamilton comes up behind her and shoots her in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's not a camera trick. It's just twins.
Good job, Hollywood.
Yeah, James Cameron.
Good job on that casting.
Yeah, James Cameron. He's smart.
But yeah, I don't know. So if I had to choose one, I'd say Outlaw Stars because I had artificial intelligence in it. That would be mine.
And they weren't all like murder killy.
No,
Yeah.
there also weren't very many of them. Most.
I mean, I'm
people
not
were
saying
just-
that they're-
That's also true.
I'm not saying that there's not, but you know, it's because I'm sure in that universe there was for sure some killy.
We only
bad
see,
juju.
see like a small.
Yeah, we only see a small
subsection.
glimpse of that
Yeah.
universe. You know.
So,
So well, what about you, man?
I don't know. Maybe the Kataro were making artificial
Oh my gosh,
intelligence.
Who knows?
Kataro.
With,
That would be the most
Cat.
terrifying artificial intelligence in the world,
yeah,
They'd be made.
weird
They'd,
cat
yeah,
people.
oh my God.
and also not terribly bright
no.
because they don't have much to learn from.
What about you, Matt?
weird cat people.
Well, I mean, I can't say Outlaw Star now, so. But I would say there is an anime that I watched not too long ago. It's called Gargantia on the Virtuous Planet.
I've seen this.
Right?
It's fantastic.
It's on Netflix,
Great.
right?
Yeah, it's the one
Yeah,
on Netflix.
it's great.
With the guy and he comes down to Earth and
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those those mech suits are built with a AI in them that learns with the pilot. It likes to call
Yeah.
itself a pilot support system, but he learns.
Here's my argument against.
You would want to live in that world,
That's not. That's
That
not.
would be really
that's
cool.
not artificial intelligence.
bro. They like
Doesn't have free
lived
will.
on a freaking carrier ship in the middle of the ocean.
It doesn't,
Like,
it doesn't. It doesn't
that
have
was
free.
the
It doesn't
world.
have free will. It can't do anything outside of what the pilot would want it to do.
Or outside of its original parameters.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I would disagree with that.
That's fair. In
So
which case,
no.
I don't have an answer, so you have to go while I think.
That's fine. I have.
It doesn't have to be an anime. It can be anything.
I
No, but now
have
think
two.
more.
That's a fact.
One is Wally.
Wally, yeah.
I think that's the winner.
That's-
Wally.
that
Wally's
wins.
the best. He's a little cute.
He's a little
robot
box
fixing the
robot.
Yeah,
earth.
but then you would be like a huge fat sack of flesh.
Oh no!
Oh no.
How terrible. So would everyone else.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like I
I'd
don't.
finally fit in. No, but I'm saying like in that. Well, okay.
Fair.
At the end of the movie, people were on the road to getting better
Yes.
and not being
Yes, they
fat
were.
sacks of useless
Flesh.
flesh.
Yeah.
So yeah, Wally would be neat.
Does Digimon count?
Nope, because those are digital monsters.
But they're real. You can touch them, and that's an anime. Like, yeah,
I
but
feel like no, because they're
that's artificial intelligence.
animal. Are Pokemon sentient?
Yeah, because they're creatures. They were creatures of the earth. In that universe, they're just.
So you're saying a dog is sentient?
What are you talking about, dude?
Dogs are sentient.
You do have to train them.
Yeah, but like Pokemon in that universe, they're not like created in a lab.
They're dogs.
No, but we're asking sentience right
Sentience.
now. They're animals.
Oh, they're animals.
so they're
yeah.
So,
So
then
they're
they're
not-
not. They
they're-
don't meet the
Well,
criteria.
Not all
they're
of
not
them are,
sentient.
Not all of them are animals, actually.
But
'Cause
The
some
only
of them,
the only sentient Pokemon that we've seen was created in a laboratory.
No,
There's Arceus. He's God.
well, okay,
that's
yeah,
different.
he was created in a laboratory.
I'm saying Mewtwo is
But-
the only one who technically meets the sentience criteria.
No, Lucario is a psychic Pokemon that can just.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like after second gen, everything sucks.
Yeah, like there are some Pokemon that like just they weren't created in a lab. They
I
just have
feel
the
like
abilities.
they
to-
blur the line too often, and the majority
Well, like
of
Mr.
them,
Mime, he was a first gen Pokemon. He was just like a
the
He's just
majority,
a weirdo.
he was a Pokemon. He's just like
The
what,
majority-
He walks upright, so he's sentient.
he's got like human characteristics.
So do
So
gorillas.
do gorillas.
Oh my god.
Coco knows sign language. It
Okay,
doesn't
really
make her
good.
sentient.
I'm going to
Doesn't
say
make her sentient.
because of the
You
700
can only
plus
say Mr.
Pokemon,
Mime.
and most of them are, for all intents and purposes, animals. I'm going to say no.
Yeah, I would say no.
Some
I don't-
do. I will agree with you. Some do fall into the category, but not enough to say that Pokemon are.
It's like
sentient.
saying, oh, this dog learned how to talk, so all dogs are sentient.
Yeah.
And I would disagree with that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Does that? I mean,
No,
does
yeah,
that
yeah. I
make
agree
sense?
with you. I
Okay,
agree with you.
so-
Did you guys ever see Ergo Proxy?
Yes.
There you go. There's a good one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, except for the fact that everybody lives in domes and
Fair.
it's dystopian. You
Or,
know what? You know what's actually funny? I think that dome is Detroit. The first one they're in. I'm pretty
think
sure
so,
it's
too.
Detroit.
You sure it's not Chicago?
No, it's Detroit. You can tell because of
Because
all
Detroit dogs are better than Chicago dogs.
Detroit. Aren't Detroit dogs made out of actual dog though?
I don't think so.
I think it's gotten to that point.
I
Is
don't-
that
I don't think that's.
and they
accurate.
and their pizzas is
'Cause,
pepperoni
like-
pizza?
Stop. Stop.
Detroit sucks.
Now that pizza's definitely different.
I know you're a fan of Michigan College, but that city sucks.
Detroit, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
city
lying.
sucks.
Motor City. You just
And their hockey team sucks.
Yeah, and the
Whoa.
engine died.
watch yourself. Oh, what about Big O? Big O had a ton of artificial intelligence in it.
Did it?
I don't think she meets the criteria because she
Dude,
doesn't.
Dorothy? She's a robot girl.
Robot girl does not mean.
But
sentience.
doesn't mean sentient.
I'm not saying sentient. She's had artificial intelligence. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but we're saying that's the difference between virtual.
Okay,
and
but I
artificial
wasn't allowed to
intelligence.
pick Chamber because he wasn't truly an artificial intelligence because he had no free will.
Yeah.
What about
He had sentience but no free will. He was shackled.
Dorothy does whatever Roger tells her to. She doesn't.
She's shackled.
I don't think she did. She make any decisions on her own?
she was the reason why he lived?
But that was his will to save. That was his own self-preservation.
Yeah, I guess
an
you're right.
extension of his own.
I can't remember. It's been a while since I've seen
Yeah, it's
that.
been a long time since I've
I
seen that. I should
don't-
rewatch it.
I don't think so. But yeah, Wally.
What? Wait,
Little
wasn't there
tiny robot fixing the earth?
Wasn't there artificial intelligence in Neon Genesis Evangelion?
Ugh.
I'm saying, wasn't there?
I think
so.
Well, I mean,
Wasn't one of the girls an AI
unless,
chick? Oh.
Unless if you're talking about the angels, I would say they didn't display any characteristics other than attacking people.
Okay.
So, I mean, they might have been, but nothing in the show leads me to believe that they would pass the Turing test because I don't think they actually ever talked.
I'm pretty sure they did.
Did they? It's
Pretty
been
sure.
so long.
It's been a
Okay.
while, but I'm pretty sure they did.
Here's an interesting one. Again, I'm gonna go way back with this too.
Yup.
How about Zoids?
Oh, Zoids. Yeah, that's
Once again, I would say
While they didn't speak the language,
Oh no,
they
the
could
girl
communicate.
No, the girl.
Yes.
Okay, the girl.
And the other Zoids
the
could
blonde-
communicate. They had self-preservation. They protected themselves and others. They had like
Yeah, but
there was
Digimon can talk, but that doesn't mean they're.
true. But I'm
What
saying
is
like
it?
they knew what was
What is it?
morally
What is-
right. They tried to protect their friends.
What did Qui-Gon say in Episode 1? The ability to speak is not a sign of sentience.
Or did he call it
get out of
intelligence?
here.
I think it was intelligence.
Jar Jar. Yeah, not a sign of intelligence. Thank you.
What about? Did you guys ever see Appleseed?
Heard of, never saw.
Appleseed had AI in it.
I don't think
It was
I've
really,
seen
really
that.
good. Really? Definitely look that up. That's really good. Appleseed's fantastic. Yeah, and then like Code Geass also had
Code Geass had.
it had artificial intelligence. Dude, all of the nightmares are AI. They talk back.
I haven't seen it. This is on you guys.
You've seen
I've
Code
seen
Geass.
it. I do not recall any nightmare talking.
Yeah, when he would get into the nightmare, I'm pretty sure the nightmare had its own like AI in it. I'm pretty sure.
Nope.
Well, I'm gonna Google
I'll
this.
bet you dollars to donuts it didn't.
Okay, well I'm gonna Google this.
Okay,
you guys
that's
continue.
fine. It didn't. No,
We've been
the
stuck in
nightmares.
animes.
The nightmares was just a mech, and you put in the key and it turned on. That was it.
How about the Matrix?
You said you had two. You said you had Wally. What was the second one?
I did say I had to.
You
What was
did.
the other one? What?
What I was trying to tell you for the past like 5 minutes.
Oh, really?
That's why she keep throwing it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I thought you were.
you were trying to say there were only two genders. My bad.
Just trying to help.
That is helpful. Thank you.
It was Wally, and then what was the other one I was going to say? Nate,
I don't know.
what's a?
Were we going like animation or movies?
I think I was going live action movies.
Okay.
Uh,
I mean, I just
Lawnmower Man. There you go.
Lawnmower Man, yeah.
Yeah, right.
Dude.
Nothing wrong with that world.
You guys never seen Lawnmower Man? Matt?
No, like
Robin Williams.
I'm
Oh, how about
I'm still
Short Circuit?
flabbergasted.
Over what?
Johnny Five is alive.
Yeah, Johnny Five is alive.
Does Tron count?
Yeah, but the second one ruined the first one. So. But Tron does count, but
They were all virtual though.
That virtual doesn't mean
Blade Runner is a good talking point because those were artificial intelligence, but like Steve would want, they didn't have any rights.
Come on. I didn't say that. I did not say that. Rude.
Well, they also had a pre-programmed in thing where they would only live for like 6 years or something. Yeah, not according to the new one, which sucks. The new one, I don't even need to see it. Well, because here's my problem is Harrison Ford's character Deckard was is a replicant replicant. Yeah, he was a replicant. It's made very clear from the movie that he is a replicant. And that his like memories of being a Blade Runner are taken from Edward James Olmos's memories. That's what makes him such a good Blade Runner because Edward James Olmos was injured and he's no longer able to do all the cool Blade Runner stuff that he does. So they made Harrison Ford's replicant, and that's why he has the memories of the dreams of the horse and stuff. And his pictures aren't real.
Yeah.
He doesn't have any like history beyond like 4 years.
Did you guys ever play a
Okay.
game?
No, wait.
Oh.
I'm gonna throw one in here.
Go ahead.
What would be kind of fun with AI in it? The Fallout universe.
Oh, geez.
Because Fallout 4 introduced Nick Valentine, who is very much so a sentient
Yeah.
AI with someone else's memories, which is where
I'm sorry.
you just,
So the universe you want to live in is where 90% of the population is dead.
and wants to kill me, if not dead.
Oh, I'm down.
And that's the one you want to live in?
It would be kind of cool.
Because
picking Fallout. I'm picking Overwatch.
fair. I don't really know a lot about the history.
Completely sentient.
No. I'm saying, are they like pitted against each other? And you can probably answer this since you have a mic. Are they pitted against each other for like entertainment purposes,
The
or
robots? No, they live.
no?
harmoniously
Like
with humans.
I know there's two different teams, and they're pitted against each other for what purpose?
Wait,
We're not.
No,
we're
no,
not
no, no,
talking
no,
about
no,
the
no. Not the
game, we're
aspects of the
talking
game.
about
We're
the
talking
lore.
about the actual lore of it. Is that robots live harmoniously with humans? It's
Oh,
somewhere
so
against
you
it,
wouldn't want to
but-
be on the team that was like killing each other. You just want to live in that universe and just like enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess that
Do
makes
you guys ever
sense.
play a game called Xenosaga?
I know of it. Never played it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cosmos is artificial intelligence.
True.
She was wicked.
Here's
And there's a
something-
lot of stuff in
here's
that
something,
game,
here's,
actually.
Here's something and I'm going to stab you right in the heart with this one because you probably didn't think of this. Final Fantasy IX.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you want to kill Vivi?
No.
You want Vivi to die? Because that's what you want. You want Vivi to be murdered.
I never said.
Because I bet
nev-
you chose for the main character to tell Vivi that he's a real person, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah.
Because Vivi's awesome.
So take that to your
But
argument.
that's
I just
Vivi.
won.
But that's Vivi. You didn't win nothing. You didn't win anything. You didn't win anything.
You didn't win, Stuart.
You didn't win.
No, you did not win. You don't win with that. No.
Vivi.
Vivi's awesome.
All right.
So what you're telling me is that in your
he
world,
killed so many people.
Yeah, I did.
in your
There you
world,
go.
you
He was
want
on my
Vivi-
team.
Oh, so it's only the good robots.
Vivi's awesome.
Speciesists.
Oh, go.
Racist.
All right, we're going to wrap up the podcast now.
And on that note, we broke Steve.
You didn't win. You didn't win.
Oh, let me check the scoreboard.
No.
Yep.
There's nothing on it.
No, wow.
Yes, there's nothing on your side. Thank you for
Or
agreeing
yours
that I
either.
won.
Stuart 27, Steve 1.
Oh wow, that's tough. It's a
No.
tough
That-
break. It was
sorry,
close.
bro.
It was close.
No, that's one W-O-N.
close.
Hey, you're not on the podcast. You don't get to talk anymore.
Oh!
Okay, so
All right, let's wrap it
if
up.
you're not on the podcast, shut up. All right. I don't care. You're not on the podcast. You have any idea how much cutting I have to do?
Hey, you know what this
All
means?
right.
You know what this means? Brian, this means that you are just like a robot to him. Second class citizen, you're dead to him.
Oh my gosh. All right.
Fine.
We're going to wrap up. Thank you guys for listening to whatever you want to call this. Like, I don't
You
know.
sound so
Really likable
sad.
geeks. The
It's
AI.
really likable geeks AI talking about artificial intelligence. You can find the podcast on iTunes and Google Play, and you can find the podcast also on all of the major social media networks. I'm not going to label them all. You can find them all by going to
They'll be at the bottom of
reallylikablegeeks.com.
the-
No, they won't. You're going to go
Okay,
to
never mind.
reallylikablegeeks.com, and you can find all of our social media there. You can listen to the podcast there as well. Actually, you can listen to both of our shows. We have two shows. I'm not sure if we've actually mentioned that on this podcast. Is
Not
that we
this
do
particular one,
have
no.
another show that we produce called The Module, which is a tech podcast with me and William Catlin from Heart. No. No, we should not. It's me and William Catlin from Hardest, the bass player from Hardest. We have a tech show. We talk about just basically everything, computer components. And we talk about video game consoles, specifically about all of their specs and
your
everything.
first
inside of
episode
them.
was about your first PC build, yeah?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
It was. And it was a good time. And we've
Riveting.
come a long
I cried.
way.
I laughed. I loved it.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah.
Oh, reallylikablegeeks.com. You can find that there. Also, I want to make this known that we do still have a Patreon. We have new rewards. Everything from you can get handwritten letters from us. You can get Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh cards from me. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's even rewards that can get you on the show. And you can either call in, we'll Skype call you, and we'll talk about a specific topic. You could have your topic on our show. You can choose a topic for us. Every month, you can choose a topic, and we'll talk about it on the show.
And if it's not good, we'll make fun of you.
And probably. And there's also an option for you to actually physically come and be on the show and go out to dinner with us. We will take you out to dinner.
You know what would be cool?
So-
if we had like a picture of you, if you wanted to, we could hang it behind us.
Oh, yeah.
Like a portrait.
Special guest.
Oh, yeah. We can do
That'd
that.
be neat.
We'll get this
We'll do
crazy, we'll do whatever.
Just-
But yeah,
we'll
so
have Brian draw a picture of you, and we'll put it up on the wall. He's saying yes. He's very enthusiastic about it. He loves it.
So we've updated our awards. If you want to support the podcast directly, it's the only way that we have of actually getting direct support. You can go to patreon.com/likablegeeks, and we have awards ranging all the way from I think $1 all the way up to in the hundreds and in the thousands. So there's many options,
Whatever you
and
feel
they're
comfortable
all
with.
really cool. There is a very special podcasts on there that we give to Patreon patrons that you can listen to
special.
on the Patreon. It doesn't get posted anywhere else. It's not downloadable. It's not redistributable. Nothing. So if you want to hear that, and trust me, you do, you go to patreon.com/likablegeeks, and you can find all our rewards there and directly support us. So, all right. Well, that's all I got.
And they can find you on
They
Twitter.
can find me on Twitter at @ThatStephenBrown.
You can usually find me not on Twitter at Believe the Weave.
And you can find me at Stu_no last name.
Thank you guys for listening to the podcast and listening to us talk about artificial intelligence and everything in between.
It was a really good debate.
It was
I
good.
enjoyed it.
It was a good episode.
It was good. So.
Let's pat me on the back.
All right, thank you guys.
And on
we'll
that
see you guys
note,
next week.
thanks, guys.
Bye.